Helix.
Do you anticipate the short-term design future of college campuses being much more heavily focused, per se, on HVAC systems than collaborative learning, social, and maker spaces?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right that these last 8 months of our work have looked collectively different than the prior years, cumulatively leading up to that point. In fact, even some of our design suggestions prior to this COVID-19 pandemic seem to be almost moving in opposition with some of our current guidance.
Yeah, talk about approaching campus planning from a public health focus versus a pedagogy focus and how we might be able to do both.
Public health would likely focus on separating people from one another, but a pedagogy focus to campus planning intentionally seeks to bring campus community members together. Right now, we want to be able to control one another's movements. So we're talking about entry points and probably directional traffic, how one moves through a corridor or a service-oriented space. Whereas before, we probably saw some of those opportunities for people to maybe not physically collide with one another, but to run into one another with a level of serendipity as a positive thing. In fact, we used to refer to that as intentional serendipity. Right now, public health would say, no, we need to keep separated and we need to actually keep track of who is coming into contact with what. But as you mentioned, I think there is a both and. I think there are some ways in which we can accomplish the public health guidance and recognizing that needs to take the priority, but also take on those kinds of solutions that would yield a pedagogy or a program first focus. And some of those things might be in the ways that we create those barriers or separations. Those barriers that maybe keep people from one another could perhaps take on a program-informed purpose. It could be just a blank whiteboard, or it could be a whiteboard with prompts to be able to write a response. It could be something that's branded related to the athletic department and what the schedule will look like for upcoming games. It could be an opportunity if your program has a studio art program for those art majors to be able to actually create artistically these barriers. There's actually some opportunity here for installation art that is also serving another purpose.